So, one thing I wanted to mention before we get too far into this, because it's something I brought up during the stream earlier this week. I'm not super into the writing and the setup so far this chapter.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels like it's kind of lost its subtlety. It's kind of lost that particular touch it had. Like, no longer is Beatrice trying to trap Badler in these nimble logic puzzles, right? Where Badler is being cornered by the fact that he's faced with a seemingly impossible situation. Now it's just like, now Beato's plan of attack is, hey, Badler, look at the fucking swords. Look at them. It's magic now. What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it? And it's like, well, then where's the fun in that? That can't be fun for her, right? Because she's not forcing Badler into a corner. She's just like banging him over the head. She's not slowly wearing him down in a big battle of attrition. She's just kind of pointing a huge ass grenade launcher at his face and being like, all right, here you go. And some people who have been following us pointed out that this chapter was actually apparently rewritten to be easier, as some people found the first two chapters a bit too difficult. So this one gets apparently colloquially known as Umineko for dummies. And I kind of see it. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm definitely not saying it, because it's not. I'm clearly enjoying myself still. It's just it seems that it doesn't seem nearly as strong as the first two were. It definitely feels like a compromised vision.
Okay, I hear you, but my take is there's 100% in-universe reason why it's the way it is, and it's exclusively because Beato's on tilt.
That is also true. That is also reasonable to have it that way, because Beato is indeed on tilt. Whether or not it's reasonable in universe, though, I feel like there still was a different way to show Beato being on tilt without, in addition to that, I feel like the chapter itself is not as well written or as tight as the other ones have been.
Well, we'll see. The murders have barely started.
That's true. I just wanted to get my initial impressions out there while we're still kind of ramping up here, if you will.
Okay. I'll get my initial impressions out there, which is, this is rad as fuck. It's full of witches.
I didn't say it wasn't rad. Don't put words in my mouth.
I don't think I did. I put words in my mouth. Well, I suppose more I took them out of it.
Yeah. Wait, does that mean words exist in your mouth before you say them?
Presumably.
That's an uncomfortable philosophical thought.
That's where they grow.
Anyway, Goto was doing the nighttime rounds. Oh, that's me. Rokkenjima had always been empty except for the Ushiromiya family household, so checking that the doors and windows were all closed had no real purpose. However, ever since the time Nazi had condemned such an attitude as being careless, the nighttime rounds had become part of the servants' daily routine. In the first place, Nazi had ordered this because of the occasional witch disturbances. Which disturbances?
Which ones? Which witch is which?
Everyone who came and left this island knew about the legend of Beatrice, the Witch of the Forest. It had become established as this island's characteristic ghost story. Because of that, it was only natural that some people would claim that, when they thought they were alone in the mansion, they would hear a strange sound or see the shadow of a person. However, when that created a little too much of a disturbance and reached Nasuhi's ears, she made a fuss, thinking that some suspicious person might have been entering and leaving. Apparently she had roused all the servants and had them checked throughout the mansion. Because all of that panic over the witch had happened before Goto's arrival, he had only heard about it from the more senior servants. Ghost stories like that could be found in any workplace. Even at hotels and restaurants Goto had worked at, there had been plenty of them. So when he heard about that story on this island, he'd given a forced smile, thinking, So they have that kind of thing here after all. That forced smile aside, he had figured that when in Rome, do as the Romans do, and had taken it seriously. Going along with it on the outside, but in his heart he assumed it to be a childish trick. At first, that is.
Oh. Is Goda going to be revealed to be a Beato true believer?
This certainly is eerie. Yeah, I can see why it's so easy for past servants to get into a pattern. Well,
He could understand how someone doing the rounds on an eerie night like this might believe they'd seen a ghost if they saw a lace curtain waving in the breeze from a window that hadn't been closed.
so if you make fun of the witch of the portrait, there is a curse. It seems there was even a servant who received serious injury and quit. Well, I wouldn't want that. Think of my age. I probably wouldn't be granted a workplace this hospitable again. Witch of the portrait. I'm working sincerely, so please give me some peace.
Goto prayed to the portrait, his hands together as though he was at a Shinto shrine.
Granted.
What?
At that time, he thought he heard a sound. The kitchen? Was that the sound of something metal falling on the floor? Maybe a mouse or a cockroach had come out and knocked over some of the dishes. No, how could that be? It was usually cleaned thoroughly. Thinking he'd check out what that noise really had been, Goto entered the kitchen. Turned on the kitchen light. When he did, he heard a strange sound. To a cook like Goto, the sound felt like the lid on a pressure cooker or something shaking. Surely there wouldn't be a pot on the burner when no one was in the kitchen. Even if someone was using the gas, walking away from it would be quite dangerous. Just in case, Goto decided to inspect the area around the gas range.
What is this?
When he did in the corner with the gas range, the pressure cooker really had been set out just as he thought. Oh no! What's in the pot? But the flame wasn't on, and yet the lid was clanking. Was something fermenting and leaking gas? How could that be? Then, was there a mouse or something inside? How could there be? Ridiculous. People were watching. Goto acted tough as he had a bold personality fitting for his build, but he actually had an unexpectedly timid side to him. He was frightened that there might be something inside and couldn't bring himself to check it carelessly. In his cowardice, he grabbed a nearby wooden pestle, and with a clunk, he tapped it a little forcefully against the side of the pressure cooker. When he did, the clanking sound suddenly stopped. He should have been relieved that it had stopped, but the fact that it had stopped when he'd hit it was even more eerie and made him even more suspicious about what was inside.
Mysterious phenomena do not exist in this world. Yes, witches and magic, things like that couldn't possibly exist. All phenomena could be explained with science, as if monsters and witches could exist.
He repeated that many times, trying to build up his own confidence. The gap between what he was saying and what he was doing was quite comical.
Who would believe in a witch who would believe in magic or curses? Come on, show me what you really are. Take that.
He moved the lid of the pressure cooker, and lying exposed there was the sparkling clean silver bottom of the pot. There was absolutely nothing frightening like he'd imagined.
Oh, well that's really good. I guess that's the best possible outcome, though. It's only natural. There's no way there could have been anything inside.
But now Goto realized that he had been a coward. So while he still had some doubts as to what caused the lid to make that sound, he figured it wasn't a big problem and decided not to worry about it too much. Then he took the lid he grabbed and softly set it back down where it had been. It's fine, it won't make a sound. Of course it won't. As if witches or magic could exist. Clank! That's my clanking noise.
Is it?
I can't say clank very quickly, can you?
No, I don't think I can. We can get some metal objects.
Do some Foley work?
Oh no, it's a pot that's empty making a clanking sound. How horrifying. Oh no, it's moderately louder in here than it usually is. This cannot stand.
All of the pots and dishes in the kitchen started clanking at once. It grew even stronger so that finally the lid to one of the pots fell off, and from inside that pot a slender white arm reached out. Lids fell off of the other parts one after another. And another, and another.
As if witches could exist. As if I believe it.
When the number of arms grew to 7, a loud shrill laughter split the air. What a letdown. Too bad that someone who can make such delicious food is such a lightweight. If you don't want him, I'll take him. He's all mine. Wait, I said no. You ever think about how we all have the same voices? I'll take him.
It only makes sense because we've all got the same face too. It's really only the
Same
hairstyles
face.
that differ.
We even all hold our arms in the same way.
What? Whoa! Girls! Oh!
Come on, let's search. There's only one more. That old hag, where is she? She's in the mansion. What about the guest house? First one wins, right? Come on, search, find her. Don't be noticed by the relatives in the dining hall, right? And don't get noticed by the kids in the guest house, right?
Who is
Search in silence, kill in silence. This is the daughters, the 7 sisters talking to each other.
Okay.
After all, it's still just the first twilight. She isn't in the guest house. But she wasn't in the mansion either, right? Where's Kumasawa? Hey, I found her. She's in the rose garden. Why is she standing around there without an umbrella? She's already given up. All mine. Blockheads just sit there and watch. Told you, no, this one's mine. Come on, if we take any longer, we'll be scolded by Beatrice-sama. Let's take care of it all at once. Oh no. Where am I? Oh, did I have another one of those waking dreams again? Oh, I think I just was in a fugue state.
I can tell it's a fugue state because everything went all counterpoint.
Oh. There, found her, surrounded her. Come on, let's get along and do it all at once, okay? Die.
What?
Oh, you thought I was such an old lady, didn't you? What? You too? So that means Kumasawa is also quote-unquote furniture.
Yeah.
Does Kumasawa have the golden eagle on her?
I didn't think she did.
Where's she at? Oh, there I am. Hello. Not that we can see anyway. Interesting. What is this? What naughty girls. Oh, you wouldn't happen to be friends with that child, would you? Just what is this? What is this old hag? There's gotta be some mistake. One more time. You young whippersnappers don't know what you're trying to mess with, or do you now? Why can't she defend against us? Move aside. One more time. No matter how often you try, it won't work. This person is good. Oh. I am waiting for that child. Would you mind calling for her? Do you really expect us to run errands for you like that?
There's no need.
Oh, hello. Beatrice-sama.
After all, even I have manifested by now. I was certain that you had awakened.
Oh, run away. Oh, it's been a long time. You look very handsome.
Thank you.
Oh, I do like what you're doing with the mustache. It's a very dignified look for you.
Have you considered making it longer? Just continue the horizontal line look, but just keep it all the way around the face.
Maybe like several yards. Just stretch. Yes, a truly long time. This person's trying to run away summer without using summer.
It's been a long time since I've seen you too, Beatrice.
What?
I was thinking it. I didn't want to venture because it seemed like too far-fetched. Mm-hmm. But remember back at the very beginning of the chapter, when they originally talking, who was it? It was a young Kinzo was talking to Beatrice. That wasn't Beatrice. Mm-hmm. Instead was some lady with gray hair that looked nothing like Beatrice. Mm-hmm. That's Kumasawa.
Okay. Counterpoint, though. We swapped the voices.
Oh.
That was Kumasawa talking to Beatrice.
Oh, fuck. Never mind then. I thought I was being cool.
It would be cool if that was the case.
It's been a long time since I've seen you too, Beatrice. She's not even using sama for Beatrice-sama.
Enough.
Well, never mind my theory then, I guess.
Don't you know who this is? Your theory was right, though.
Oh, I was still right.
Your theory was still right.
I was still right.
The name Beatrice itself is hers. I only inherited it from her. This is my teacher, the previous Lady Beatrice.
Oh, yep, that's me. Hello. The previous Lady Beatrice. I like how the particular pattern of the butterflies, when put behind a sprite of one of the characters, looks like butterfly wings on that character.
Yeah.
That's cool. Gold butterflies appeared in ones and twos from the Garden of Roses and began to gather around Kumasawa. Then after she was wrapped in golden sparkle, she burst and disappeared, and Kumasawa's form was no longer there. Oh, got to go.
Hey.
Instead, there was another golden witch, the one who had taught the path of an endless witch to Beatrice, and the only person Beatrice ever called to teach her. Her hair was long, beautiful, and vividly youthful, and her figure in that elegant dress couldn't possibly have been mistaken for an old lady. No, this looked like a completely different person from Kumasawa.
Sup, teach?
Is that really? I thought I taught you better than that. I see you are indeed smoking that pipe. Hasn't that taught you well?
Every day.
Smoke every day. Are you gonna... Oh, you already said hey.
I never even dreamed that we would meet each other again.
Yes, neither did I. I certainly never dreamed that my sleep would be disturbed.
Such a troublesome time for you to awaken. If you'd remained asleep as usual, the first twilight could have ended without much trouble. Or perhaps I should be glad you're here. I was just getting a tad bored.
As usual, it seems you're toying with sinless people in a vulgar game. I believe I taught you several times that the power of the Endless Witch mustn't be used to cause people trouble.
Don't say that, teacher. Isn't boredom our natural enemy? This is just a little spice to escape from that. The more the corrosion advances, the stronger my power becomes, and the easier it becomes to summon my minions. But who would have thought it would release the seal on you, teacher, at the same time?
I mean, I would have. It seems like it follows, doesn't it?
I don't know.
You never did pay attention to that part of class, did you? It's precisely because I predicted such a thing would happen that I slept so very close to where you were. Though I prayed in my sleep that I would not be woken again. Being reunited with you like this is a very sad thing for me.
You're as cunning as always, teacher.
Runaway, have that young furniture step back. Furniture only serves its master. The master is responsible for all of her crimes.
Certainly, Madam Beatrice.
I have already passed that name on to this child. Come now, step back, furniture girls. I may give warnings a second time if you did not listen to the first. However, do not expect to receive a third.
Step back, Seven Sisters of Purgatory. If you get dragged into this, only dust will remain.
Back, everyone. Ronove and the Seven Sisters of Purgatory retreated. After that, what remained was the Beatrice whose daring expression didn't falter, and the teacher Beatrice who'd given up that name and wore a composed smile.
Well then, teacher, what tea shall I prepare for our long-awaited reunion?
Oh, so you offer her tea the first time, but for me you're like, oh, let's have you fucking drink your aunts and uncles like meat juice.
Is that not a tea? Does that count?
No, so tea is actually all just from one plant called the tea plant. Anything else, any other warm drink made with anything else is an infusion.
Furiously scribbling notes.
I know, common misconception. You'd be surprised that all the teas are made from the same kind of plant. I thought it was several different plants at first. And then they're like, no, it's the same plant, just prepared in different ways, and it blew my mind.
I'm a witch, not a botanist. Fuck this.
Anyway, I'll take one Turing, please. Let's see. This reunion was longer in coming than the visit of a comet. Perhaps I will accept your hospitality. If it seems a mistake has been made, I'll have you return my name and the title of Endless Witch.
So, even the title of Endless Witch has a license renewal policy?
Yeah, didn't they? Again, really should have been paying attention.
I haven't been paying my fees this whole time.
That's bad. They're gonna pile up. And
laws are imaginary.
I mean, that is also true, but but the people are also still gonna come after you. That is also true.
As you wish, teacher. See how splendid your disciple has become, and see how far she surpassed you so long ago. Which battle?
The air between the two Beatrices seemed to explode with sparks. Just by glaring at each other, they purged all spirits from that space. As they watched, the Seven Sisters shivered. After all, if they had retreated just 3 steps less than they had, they would already have been turned to dust by now. So come, Beatrice. Surrendering my name to you is the only regret I have in life. I will now correct that error by my own hands.
You've got it wrong, teacher. My only error was becoming your disciple in the hopes of gaining such a puny level of power. Get it?
Wow, your comebacks really haven't matured much at all, have they?
Not at all.
Beato, I feel like you're off your game. Like, you normally have such incisive witticisms, and now you're just kind of like, no you. Do you want to talk about it?
I'm having a bad week. Didn't you hear the narrators go over this?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
This is the easy round. My heart's really not in it right now.
I don't listen to those people in the metaverse.
What are you calling magic? What are you calling the Endless Witch? All you've got is a power that can be gained just by noticing, right? And you act as though that's so great and impressive. Your turn's long over, teacher.
See, you usually save that very dramatic and drawn-out screaming of names for me. Nothing personnel.
3 Beatos, maybe more.
Oh no, what are they gonna do?
Gee, you sound like 1.5 horses.
What? I don't get it.
A, it's a reference.
Okay.
B, 3 Beatos, 6 legs.
Oh, okay, I get you.
1.5 horses.
I don't have a clue what's going on anymore. What in the world is happening right in front of my eyes? Oh, you poor thing.
She's in the metaverse now?
What? Is there just a door here that I don't know about? Why don't we just invite everyone in? Why don't we all just get over here and eat popcorn and have a jolly old time watching us kill each other?
Actually, that sounds
That
pretty
wasn't
good
a real
right now.
suggestion. Seems my disciple is causing you trouble. I apologize. Who the heck are you? I wasn't paying attention during the flashbacks. Why did old Kumasawa turn into a Nei-chan like this? I mean, seriously, who are you? I don't get it. What kind of special effects are these? My head feels like it's gonna explode. I'm the witch teacher of that child. My old name was Beatrice. When that child succeeded me, I gave up that name, so I have no name of my own.
That seems wildly inconvenient.
Not really. I mean, I prefer not to deal with the strangely terrifying horror of being known.
I don't have pronouns. Please don't refer to me.
Like you already said, your disciple's been a real pain to me. Please take responsibility and do something. No, wait. I don't believe in stuff like this. As if witches and magic could exist. I won't accept this messed up battle. Damn it, what should I believe? See what I mean? It's like... It's like... Now Battler's just reduced to being like, no, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Huh. That's just like you. Hospitality with a very quick temper. Yeah, you tell her.
I'd expect nothing less from you, teacher.
She won't even fix her Wi-Fi connection.
It seems this is so trivial to you, you don't even feel like opening your eyes. But I doubt you'll be able to win unless you're prepared to wreck this whole island, see? Come, arise, shoulder war towers.
What the fuck is a shoulder war tower? In response to Beatrice's summons, a terrific earth tremor split the rose garden, and on either side of her shoulders, 2 massive war towers sprouted and stabbed into the heavens.
That fucking slaps. I can't believe she's already activated her reality marble.
Doing a great job of making sure the adults in the dining room don't notice, aren't we? They stretched up to 100 merutes tall, and each had over 360 ports. They were war towers of the gods' army corps, which had prevented even groups of ancient heroes from invading their sacred grounds. Beatrice elegantly floated in the gap between the massive 2-headed towers. She looked down on her teacher, sneering with a sense of absolute superiority. With the 2 massive towers lined up behind her shoulders, the witch looked very small, like a butterfly dancing between huge trees.
Don't think you can dodge it by turning into butterflies, okay? The density of the Twin Towers barrage wouldn't just make you a pinned bug sample, it'd make you a madly stabbed pincushion,
This
right?
entire chapter is just bullshit! What other ass pull are you going to do next?
This is fantastic. I am all aboard. I am logged in.
Over 720 ports opened on the towers, and godly soldiers readied their multi-shot ballistas.
See, we know exactly how many ports.
Why would I need to know that? Just say it's a bunch of them.
Is that the end of your turn? Are we in cleanup phase now?
Famous last words. I combo off during the discard step.
That's actually mildly impressive.
Blast away!
The ballista shots that numbered over 1,000 were all fired at once, drawing a beautiful geometric
Oh
curtain
my
of death.
god, it's Toho!
It's Toho!
I love this.
You're right, it's Toho now.
This is a Toho PowerPoint.
That's what this is. The boorish sound as the bowstrings were played was probably even deeper than that of a reaper swinging its sickle.
Come, arise, fallen tower. Split the single language and let that sin be known.
The sky was stained in incandescent red, and from between the clouds a blazing massive tower fell upside down. That massive falling tower and its rubble sucked in the thousands of ballista shots, so that not one of them approached the body of the witch who had summoned it. That's right, no group of people, no matter how large, could approach the mysteries of heaven. That was the reality of the fallen tower.
As I'd expect from you, teacher. If you do something, you always do it big.
Alright, I'm just gonna go hang out with Rodove and eat a cookie. This is just... I'm checking out now. Goodbye. come let me know when you're done, alright?
All right.
I'll get some lemonade. That's not lemonade.
My turn isn't over. Come, arise, sons of Ivaldi. Bestow upon me a worthy spear.
As the massive crimson tower that had fallen made a terrible gold-colored explosion, a massive spear appeared from inside those flames, so tall like a tower that you had to look up to see all of it. It was too large even for a giant's hand. That divinely beautiful spear of the gods was so massive it gave the illusion that the fallen tower had turned into a spear of the same size. It was a spear of certain victory that none could escape.
Looks like your twin towers won't help you now. How foolish to block off your means of escape on both sides. You can't defend against even a single spear.
I can't believe that old Beatrice has Gaybolg.
Yep, it's fate now. Yep, we're doing fate now. I guess that's what's happening.
When she snapped her fingers in command, the massive tower-sized spear shot at Beatrice like a lightning bolt, dealing 3 points of damage. It aimed right for the middle of the center of the Golden Witch's heart with extreme precision as she danced in the gap between the towers like a butterfly, slicing straight through the air like a flash of lightning.
Ha! So, you... Oh my god! Do.
Ball wish shall nessie gong near throne.
It's Sympho Gear now!
Come on, Hibiki. Let's do it.
So, you use Gungnir at a moment like this. You really are incredible, teacher! Burst, useless towers. Arise, giant soldier battle line. Fully block that divine spear with your shields and chests.
You all hear something out there? Damn, it's just my imagination. Sorry, let's continue our sibling discussion in the nice peace and quiet of this dining room that is not being disturbed by anything else. The shoulder war towers exploded in gold. They became several billion gold butterflies. Those butterflies took the shape of 7 massive armored shoulders. Each stretched a full 50 meters into the... Is that an actual... That's the second... I assumed it was a misspelling of meter, but...
What if it's...
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
I'm betting it's not a thing. It's a made-up word.
Yeah...
That's what I'm betting.
Units of measurements. So, it is... The first result on Google is the page for units of measurements on the Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind wiki.
Huh. That's interesting.
I'm guessing it's probably an established fantasy thing.
Maybe.
Huh.
Regardless. They're fucking big.
The totes big. And they lined up in front of Beatrice, protecting their master and holding massive shields that towered like windmills.
They look like they have a Shrek ear.
They do. They were as massive as a mountain range. The witch behind them was like a small moon hiding behind the mountains. Once in the past, when the massive shields these giants held had been readied by the whole regiment, they had protected King Wilhelm's castle not only from arrows but from the wind and the rain. For when they had faced upwards and held their shields to the heavens, not a single raindrop had gotten through.
Foolish. The shame of a witch who has forgotten to respect things sacred. Did you think mere giants could defend against the spear of the gods?
Indeed. No matter how much human metal you are armed with, you can not block a spear of the gods. A wonderful Polyet Mate by Madam.
No way, Beatrice-sama.
Of course I haven't forgotten, teacher. Come, arise, disciples of Hephaestus. Bestow upon me a worthy shield.
Come, arise, chicken, arise! I just wanted to join in. I'll go back now, I'm sorry. Sorry for interrupting. You're clearly in the middle of something.
Yeah, we're playing Magic the Gathering out here.
Okay. I'm just gonna accept that at face value
We're
now.
playing Yu-Gi-Oh out here.
A golden whirlwind arose at the feet of the giant soldiers. It was a cloud of countless butterflies. They attached themselves to the massive shields like gold leaves, sparkling like they were a gold mirror. It was the absolute defensive wall given to a goddess by the chief of the gods, the Aegis Shield. When the holy spear, which left a dignified trail behind it like a comet, crashed into the mountain range of that gold shield, there was a terrible, thunderous roar. It was the creaking of the pillars that held up the heavens. The divine spear spun around and around, and was sent flying in the direction of the setting sun. Impossible! She defended against the divine spear.
No, that is not correct. The divine spear avoided her. It is the law of gods that an absolute spear and an absolute shield must never fight one another. Although in the end, it means the same thing as defending against it.
Your skills have improved from engaging in these fights so often.
Or rather, it seems you're still as bad as ever at this kind of game, teacher.
Ooh, burn, you get her, Beato! Wait, why am I rooting for you?
It's my turn to strike back.
Other Beato, try giving her a cookie in a box.
I shall follow the code and counter a spear with a spear.
The giant soldier battle line, which had fully blocked the divine spear, released its holy gold shields. The shields fell to the earth, making the ground shake. When they did, another gold whirlwind arose, and the 7 gold shields changed from their form into 7 massive spears of lightning lying on the ground. At once, each of the giants lifted one of their legs, high, and firmly stomped on the tips of the handles. As the earth shook with the thunderous sound, the 7 lightning spears spun beautifully and flew up above the giant soldiers' heads. They scattered into a golden splash and began to fall before the giants. Each of the giants squared off, and with the force of their whole body, they kicked and smashed them. The broken pieces numbered exactly 30, and became lightning spears exactly the same size as the originals, which made for 210 for the 7 giants. And all of those burst at once, with each spreading into 30 thorns for a total of 63,000, because the exact number is very important.
Yeah.
They became a barrage of thunderclouds, drawing a beautiful geometric pattern, and then each changed into 3 bolts of lightning, so that 18,900 thunderbolts shot at the predecessor Beatrice. It is Toho. It's literally...
This is what witches do for fun.
It's literally Toho. Too bad that if they want to hit predecessor Beatrice, that they have to hit like the one tiny bit of her. It's over, Beatrice Summer.
I would expect nothing less from Madam.
That bundle of almost 20,000 thunderbolts must have reduced the teacher's body to dust. But there had been no resistance. Beatrice knew immediately that she had been fooled. At that time, from the direction that the sun had supposedly set, she felt the impossible rays of sunlight. A brilliant ray of light shone on her profile. It was the figure of her teacher, holding aloft the spear of the gods that had supposedly been repelled a short while ago. She bore a sparkle like the sun on her back, and made it shine like the incarnation of darkness. As Beatrice watched, she was trapped like a mouse in a cage, cornered in a dead end formed by the giant soldier battle line. By now, the predecessor Beatrice had seized a position directly alongside that line.
Playtime is over, Beatrice.
Have I exposed my flank?
Her bold expression hadn't faltered even once, but now it twisted for the first time. And faster than Beatrice could click her tongue, the predecessor Beatrice released the holy spear. As it leapt through the air, it changed its form once more.
Come, arise, Dvergar brothers.
Bestow upon me the giant smashing iron hammer of heaven.
Giant soldiers, protect me! What are you doing, you blockheads?
By now it was no longer a spear, but the whirlwind of a massive hammer that raised a sound like a windstorm as it flew through the air. It was the legendary hammer that had shaken even the king of the frost giants. But the giant soldiers couldn't escape from that fear. So regardless of how strongly their master ordered them, they couldn't get in the path of that hammer.
Back rank mate. Rest in peace.
Damn it!
Before the whirlwind of that massive chunk of metal, Beatrice was nothing more than a mere speck. The instant the whirlwind started to suck Beatrice in, she appeared to change into a massive war tower. The iron hammer smashed the war tower, scattering tremendous amounts of rubble, but it did not reach she who had escaped behind it. Furthermore, when smoke started to settle, the war tower had sucked in the massive iron hammer without crumbling and blocked the way. Even the giant smashing iron hammer couldn't break through the final tower protecting the witch. However, this war tower was actually the witch's last trump card. It was a war tower for dodging that could only save her from danger once. But this tower was impregnable. No weapon could break through it. At that time, the moon disappeared. As Beatrice hid in the shadows of the giant soldier battle line in the war tower, she looked up at the sky. When she did, inside the moon was the figure of a massive horse, ridden by the god of war and death. The predecessor Beatrice rode the horse with him.
Oh my god. This is wonderful. I love this game.
This is certainly something, alright.
I'm so happy right now. Team Witch.
How are you all doing in here? I just decided to check in. You all still playing nice? Alright, just remember, no being a sore loser. His cloak had blocked the moon and swallowed it in an eerie shadow, and the spear of the gods was in his hand once more. In other words, it was a godly knight who had jumped over the ramparts formed by the giant soldiers and the war tower attacking from the heavens. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Oh, this is the best.
This is certainly something, alright.
I love chapter 3. You got me.
Smothered mate.
Probably mate?
Smothered mate. It was fun, Beatrice.
Ah.
The struggle to the death between the two witches with the same name was over. The spear that had been launched from the heavens pierced the ground. The giant soldier battle line of the war tower split up into countless gold butterflies, wrapping the area in a gold-colored storm. Then came the sound of thunder, and the sound of the falling rain and wind. If you looked around, the rose garden was empty. The butler and the rest were watching these two witches confronting each other. But Beatrice alone had changed. She had been pierced straight through by the spear, from the base of her neck and her right shoulder to her left buttocks, unable to even reach the ground with her feet. Horribly exposed like a pitiful pinned butterfly, tormented by the wind and the rain.
Beatrice-sama!
As expected, a truly fearsome person.
That settles it, Beatrice.
Ouch.
Beatrice bleeding? Beatrice wore a bitter smile of false courage, but a strand of blood dangled from her mouth, making her look even more pitiful.
The title and power of the Endless Witch. You will return them to me now, along with the name Beatrice. You are too immature to call yourself an Endless Witch.
Stop. Forgive me, teacher. I was just fooling around, okay? It was just a joke, bro.
Come on, can't you take a joke, bro?
I will take my name back from you. I shall return you to your original form. Perhaps you should relinquish this power which is beyond you, and live a life suitable for yourself. Come, try to remember. What form did you have?
The predecessor Beatrice began to recite the words of power. When she did, small gold butterflies had gathered near the skewered Beatrice and began to swarm about her. There's no way it's this easy.
Yeah.
Like butterflies sucking the nectar out of flowers, they began to suck the magical power out of Beatrice, and it seemed to cause her intense pain. A cry of anguish issued from Beatrice's mouth.
Oof.
Beatrice! Beatrice! Can I have this soda pop I found in your fridge? Oh, sorry, bad time. I'll be going now. I'm still gonna drink it though. She no longer had any power to resist it.
Come, try closing your eyes. Try to remember. What form did you have? Come, Beatrice, repeat it with me. Let us sing a song together. Then it will be over soon. Let us end your pain as fast as possible.
We've never seen that expression before. Again, old image is just better.
You're right. How long has it been since I've sung with you, teacher?
Come together. Right now. Over me.
Ah, classical music again, I see.
Come, try to remember. What form did you have?
Come, try to remember. What form did you have?
When the two of them began to recite the same song, more and more gold butterflies danced around, swarming around Beatrice. It'll be all right, milady. You will lose your place as my disciple, but that will not change the fact that you are the lady I serve. After that, I shall read a book for you again. I shall bake you apple pies once more, just like it was long ago. Come, try to remember.
Yes, try to remember. Are you finally starting to remember? Hey, teacher. Did you remember that thing behind you?
What is this?
When the predecessor Beatrice looked behind her, there was an eerie hedgehog curled up there. No, it was herself. There was another predecessor Beatrice whose whole body had been packed with ballista shots, lying there like a pincushion doll.
Come, try to remember. What form did you have? Or maybe that's not right. Come, try to remember. How were you killed?
The predecessor Beatrice was stunned. Her form gradually began to fade away.
This is... When? When did you?
Ballista pranks. At the beginning, I did not summon a pair of shoulder towers. There were 4 towers. Teacher, you carelessly stepped across the 7th rank rook boundary of death created by the 2 hidden towers, which were lurking in the distance on either side of you. It was bad manners of me to say check this late. I simply must apologize.
The battle had been decided at the very beginning. It had been over since the time the predecessor had leaned forward, readying her holy spear to attack Beatrice, who had been wedged between her shoulder towers. The hidden towers lurking on either side had bathed her in a windstorm of ballista shots from 720 ports on both sides, pinning and killing her. However, Beatrice hadn't wanted it to be resolved like that. She wanted to let her teacher take her next move and continue acting as though the game was still on. She'd immediately revived her with the endless power, and made her continue the game as though nothing had happened. Wow.
Wow.
Whoa, that's rude. Why do you have to be such a prick, Beato?
Beato is the kind of EDH player who will target a life gain spell at the opponent to keep them alive so she can finish them.
Then the predecessor slowly remembered that she had already been killed, and began to vanish completely. When she did, the spear that had pierced Beatrice also vanished. Beatrice finally landed on the ground. There wasn't even a trace of a scar.
It was fun, teacher. If you want to play again, I'll revive you anytime. And once we've had some fun, I'll make you remember that you're a corpse again. See? I did everything you told me to, right? Didn't you tell me to always put my toys back in their boxes when I'm done playing with them?
Was it an easy victory?
You fool, it was a tough one. If I hadn't tricked her with the 4 towers, I would have been the one dead. As I'd expect from teacher. But now I can stand proud. Now I have completely surpassed teacher. Runobe, clean up teacher's remains a bit. I haven't lost my respect for her that much.
Certainly. Tonight's first twilight became a little too riotous. A little cleanup will be necessary. I shall see to it immediately. Goats, it is time to clean up.
Meh.
Meh,
Meh. When Ronove snapped his fingers, blazing, sparkling eyes began to blink open in the shadows and darkness, becoming goat-headed attendants that appeared one after another. One by one, they wordlessly stood at attention in a line behind Ronove's back. This time, what shall be done about the 6 corpses? Another closed room pattern?
Oh my god, Ronove's the closed room technician.
He's Beatrice's fucking fixer.
I'm in no mood to think now.
Yep, and you never are. Heyo.
You're not wrong. Anyway, I'll leave it to you, Ronove. An extraordinary closed room to torment Battler, if you would.
I'm right here.
Hey, Battler.
I am right here still. You can't just, like, do it in front of me, then it loses the mystique.
I fucking can. Get ready to get tormented.
Oh, torment. Certainly. Then it shall be extraordinary. Oh, you're back.
Good times. Okay, where's Battler? Battler, did you see my big moment?
I told you I was in your fridge. I'm sorry, I drank the rest of your soda pop.
That wasn't soda pop.
Damn it! After being shown that screwed up magical storm, what can I deny? Forget just witches existing after being shown that tremendous flashy fantasy. What can I deny now? I don't get it anymore. It was like that last time too, but how can I deny these awesome, wonderful, magical battles?
Isn't that right? After watching this, you can't talk your way out of it, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine that's very fun for you.
Okay, Battler, let me hear some ridiculous reasoning.
Milady, your laugh is becoming a bit undignified.
You're becoming undignified.
I am the model of dignity at all times.
Okay. My apologies. But that isn't my fault. After all, if Battler tightly closes his eyes, grinds his teeth, and shows me that ever so bitter expression, it just automatically slips out of my mouth, you see?
You seem weirdly fixated on him for such a random mortal person.
I know, right? I wonder if that'll be the general arc of this series or something.
We're just gonna lampshade that, alright? So, Battler-sama, why don't you return to the table without losing heart? Milady is expecting your counterattack, you see?
Quit messing with me! How the hell can I make a counter-argument? In the first place, everything was already screwed up when that tower sprouted out of the fucking earth. Should I say that under the ground in Rokkenjima there's a secret laboratory for building super alloy combining robots or something?
That would slap.
And that pushing a button can make the strange towers sprout up? Right, and then those huge giants must be the robots, or maybe an evil secret association's mecha monsters? I don't get it! Don't talk to me! Yeah!
Look. Don't cry, okay?
I'm not crying! I might be crying a little bit, I'm sorry.
Bang, bang, it's magic. If you want, I'll crush the moon and make comets fall like rain. It's Destroy the Moon Day.
I do like that day.
I can even just bury the whole island in those massive breasted nachons you like so much. See? Come on, look. My turn's over, see? Show me your response. Launch your counterattack. You can't, can you? Except that there's a quadrillion things you can't do. You're useless against this, right? You actually like this kind of fantasy, don't you? I bet you bought Fate on day one.
How did you know? Unfortunately for you, I much now prefer the isekai genre.
I get it. That's been going around on the streets lately, hasn't it? In manga and light novels, in anime and movies, even visual novels.
What are those? Sorry, I only play real video games.
Just
gonna let that one go? You're gonna let that one slide? Wow. Wow, okay. Vivian doesn't have anything to say to that. I want you to know that I was just playing the character, and I do believe that visual novels are real video games, and that it's honestly a bit to the detriment of Western video game culture that we kind of treat them as a inherently valueless novelty. And I think that we could stand to learn a lot from them. But apparently Vivian doesn't feel that way. She just agrees immediately with the notion that...
I don't think I agreed with shit.
You didn't deny it, and that's the same thing. It's the contrapositive.
Anyway, some teenage brats get a whole bunch of... What do you want from me?
I want you to acknowledge my silly jokes.
It's good.
Oh my god. All right, go for it.
Some teenage brats get a whole bunch of strange special abilities, and they blow up all sorts of stuff with the fate of the world on the line.
Oh my god, do I get to become a magical girl?
We can arrange for this. Magic is pretty powerful. You love that too, don't you? I know, don't hide it. You love it, right? Hasn't the thing you love just been displayed before your very eyes?
Wait, hold on. I'm coming around to something. I'm gonna wait to the end of this chapter, but I'm coming around to something.
Okay. So the thing Battler loves is displayed before his very eyes. Beato.
Oh, I do.
Why do you believe it in manga and anime, but you won't believe in me? Believe it. Did I do the catchphrase right?
Believe it.
You can't argue back, not after you've been shown something like this, right? Look, answer. You don't need to think. You can just obediently say, I'm sorry, Beatrice-sama. Look, try saying it. I'm sorry, Beatrice-sama. Try saying it. Say it. Don't be embarrassed. Take the L.
I love how she completely has lost her composure. This is, what is it about Battler that does this to her?
And only
Battler, right? Okay, so after seeing where they went in the end with that, I hate it a little bit less. The fact that Beato is specifically lauding it over him as like, hey, these are the kind of stories and fantasies that you believe in all the time, right? Hey, this is what you wanted, Umineko fans, right? This is the game you wanted, right, Umineko fans? Huh? Why don't you enjoy it, huh? Come on. I don't know. From that angle, I dislike it less. Still.
The shoulder war towers were pretty cool.
I imagine them actually coming out of her shoulders.
Yeah, all four of them.
Like she's got like the fucking girl boss energy. It's if only.
So something I realized.
Yeah.
The whole thing with the artist formerly known as Beato there, where she's present but as someone else but not awakened, seems to open up a lot with the 18 or 19 people controversy. Like, it could well be that Beatrice is someone there and is also Beatrice. Similarly, some of our other witch participants could be present at the moment. We don't know that they're not, now that we know that
that's a possibility.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Characters that we thought we knew, we may not.
What? You telling me there's going to be continual character development? All right. There would have been no way to tell that the morning had come without opening a curtain and looking up the cloudy sky, which had become a tiny bit lighter. It wasn't a refreshing morning. All that could be heard was the sound of the rain, which hadn't stopped falling since last night, and the howl of the wind. There's just something about her face.
She looks really smug.
Yeah. Oh, I know what was going on out there last night.
I was kept up by all the witches fighting outside.
It's hard to imagine that it's morning. This horrible weather speaks for our hearts.
Hey, it could be worse. At least it's just rain and not spears falling from the sky.
Ha!
Why would that be the first example that you go to? I don't know. I had him on the mind. Don't worry about it.
Wahaha.
Hee hee hee.
Wahaha.
Oh, sorry.
Whether it's rain or spears, it's coming down with a bang. Is it already 6? Whew. Isn't this enough? After this, we've got no measures we can take till the mystery 19th person, Beatrice, makes her move.
Nah, it's true. However, I believe we have anticipated every trick they might use against us.
That's right. As long as a traitor doesn't appear among the siblings, we should be able to deal with most situations.
Haven't we talked about this enough? We've stayed up all night. I'm tired. You're right. How about taking a little rest after eating breakfast? You know, a good old
Nah,
post-breakfast bedtime.
a good plan. Staying up all night is trying at our age. As they all stretched, they enjoyed this unrefreshing morning as best they could.
Staying up all night is try-harding at our age.
Nice. I don't go wash my face or something. I probably look horrible. My makeup's all smeared.
What is that awful stench?
As soon as they exited into the corridor, Kyria openly made a disgusted expression.
What is it?
Hey, don't you smell something awful?
What is this stench?
That smell!
I can't stand it.
I don't know the rest of the words to the song, do you?
No.
Okay. After hearing those complaints, everyone stuck their heads out into the corridor. The stench was faint, but once people started commenting on it, it was clearly noticeable. Each of them went into the corridor, relying on their own sense of smell to tell them where this strange odor was coming from.
What in the world could it be? Let us have Genji deal with it. I believe he should already have arrived in the servant room to begin the morning preparations.
It'd be funny if they do have to go to the servant room and that's where they are.
Yeah.
Indeed, please do. At the very least, it's difficult to imagine Goda making a breakfast that would cause such an odor. Nah. Rudolph and the others searched for the source of the smell, determined that it was coming from underground, from the boiler room. But the door was locked and they couldn't check inside. At the same time, when Nazi's group was on its way to search for someone in the servant room, they noticed something strange near the parlor.
What is this? What a horrible prank. Who would do something like this?
On the door to the parlor, drawn in paint that looked like blood, was a strange thing that looked like a magic circle.
There's no one in the kitchen yet. What is that?
Ava's group, who had thought the smell might be coming from the kitchen, had returned after confirming that no one was there and that preparations for breakfast had not yet begun. Then they noticed the change to the parlor. It's useless. The boiler room's locked.
It runs in the family, it's useless.
It's useless. It's all useless. Wouldn't that be bad if something went wrong with the boiler? Has anyone spotted a servant?
Is one of those vulgar scribbles here too? There was another one on the door to the boiler room.
What's that? This creepy scribble isn't just here, but it's in other places too. Ha ha. You don't think this is the Witch of the Forest Beatrice's declaration of war, do you?
Hideyoshi tried to make fun of it, but staring at this creepy magic circle while listening to the wind and rain really made it seem like it was a message from a witch. The dripping bright red paint made one think of blood, which made it even creepier. Hideyoshi tried to open the door, but it had been locked. As a general rule, the parlor wasn't locked. Someone had gone out of their way to lock it.
What does this mean? Could it be that, while we were talking in the dining hall, someone secretly left this scribble? On the doors to the parlor and the boiler room?
I'm sure the servants are behind this. We were together the whole time. We all have alibis. They probably received some strange order from father and pulled this prank.
Oh no, they're gonna have no one to suspect but their own kids.
Ah! Oh
Ooh.
no! Oh no! Oh, I just put that together. Oh, that's tragic. And there's also the case yesterday with Maria Chen's letter. It's really easy to suspect the servants are acting on Dad's orders and planning something. Anyway, where is everyone? They can't be playing hide and seek. Let's look for them.
Before that, I'm worried about the children. They are safe, right? I'll go and check, and while I'm there, I'll see if there aren't any servants there.
Now, let's split up.
Dooming them instantly.
While you go to the guest house to see how the brats are doing, we'll investigate inside the mansion. I don't want to think about it, but maybe these creepy magic circles aren't just in places we found them already. We might be wrapped up in some kind of bizarre game of fathers. I will go to him and hear the situation. What's the situation? Wait.
Game of Fathers, I haven't heard of that one yet.
Though I doubt he'll obediently listen to me. The adults split up. As a result, they confirmed that the 4 children were safe in the so-called cousin room on the 2nd floor of the guest house. They'd apparently stayed up late last night playing. All of them were snoring loudly, so Rosa decided not to wake them. Furthermore, Nanjo, who had returned early in the previous night to rest, was also safe. Oh! Good on you, Nanjo. Making it through. CMT believed in the phrase early to bed, early to rise, and had woken refreshed. During that time, Kirie and Hideyoshi searched for the servants, but they didn't find them. The servant room in the guest house was also empty.
I can't find them. There's only blood.
What do you mean there's only blood?
It's only blood.
What?
Why are you searching for servants at the blood store?
Fuck you!
The children are safe. They all stayed up too late last night. The servant room is empty. I looked at the shift chart and the morning shift begins at 6. They should have started working by now.
The nap room is also empty. There were signs that a futon had been slept in, but it wasn't warm.
Hey, isn't everyone's reasoning right on this? This is probably a game father set up. He must have left those creepy scribbles and hid himself somewhere, trying to make us do something.
Oh, help.
Are you saying he's trying to see who's fit to succeed as well? And the headship? Isn't that a bit macabre?
Do you think Kyrie is a witch? Maybe? I've been wondering this for like 2 full chapters.
If at a minimum, she definitely has time travel magic. Look at her arm belts. I'm just saying. So far, everyone I know with arm belts, time travel.
Yep.
Time travel.
No, wait, who's talking?
So that's Rosa, then Hideyoshi, sorry.
No, it might not be strange if Father was behind something like that. After all, Father loves doing things on a big scale. This might have been a finely tuned plan, starting as far back as when the epitaph was hung in the hall.
In that case, I wonder if they'll give us an announcement of the game or some explanation of it. Certainly would be nice if an envelope with the crest like the one handed to Maria-chan were to appear.
That's right. Maybe Nissan and the rest have found something like that in the mansion. Dr. Nanjo, have you heard anything about this?
My apologies. I have no idea what is going on. And that, yes, certainly. I could easily imagine Kendo-san planning something on such a big scale.
Shouldn't we go back to the mansion for now? Maybe they found something over there.
If I won't be in the way, I shall go as well.
I'll stay here. The children are sleeping upstairs. We don't know what's happening. We cannot leave them alone.
That's right. I'll stay with Rosa-san and watch over the place. Would you tell that to my husband?
Rosa and Kirie remained in the guest house. Hideyoshi went with Nanjo and returned again to the mansion. Alright. Yeah, because now they... Well, no. They can suspect Nanjo.
They can suspect Nanjo and the kids. Mm-hmm. Or this 19th person.
Named Beato. Yep. At the same time in the mansion, in a way that was hard to believe, or maybe we should say in a way that gave him a bad feeling, Rudolph's prediction was spot on. The same magic circle graffiti that had been drawn on the doors to the boiler room and the parlor had been found in multiple places throughout the mansion. Anarchy. How's Dad? It's no use. I received no response. I tried putting my ear against the door, but I couldn't sense anyone.
There's no sign of any of the servants. Where in the world did they disappear to?
This isn't funny. Father and the servants are hiding, and there are strange magic circles all over the mansion? What in the world is happening?
There weren't only magic circles on the door to the boiler room and the door to the parlor. There were also 2 on the 2nd floor and 1 on the 3rd floor for a total of 5. Oh, I get it. So they're going to have all of the master keys locked up behind them. Is the thing. So no matter which way you slice it, like there's no way to account for how all of them could be all locked away.
So wait, only 5? And
That they found. Yeah.
And we had 6 sacrifices, right?
That's true. They were all the same magic circle and all of the doors had been locked, so they couldn't check inside the rooms. Anyway, let's do something about the boiler room first. It'd be bad if something broke down and caught fire or exploded. So we need the key.
It should be in the key box in the servant room.
Good, that's where we keep all the keys. They fished through that key box. Because each of the servants carried their master keys around, those weren't kept there. However, all the individual keys should have been there. I can't believe they managed to fit so many keys in there. And so many keys. It's Lovecraftian. How do they all fit in such a tiny box? I pull one out, and yet another seems to immediately replace it.
It isn't here. No matter how much we look, the key to the boiler room isn't here.
Look, Anarchy. Only the keys to the rooms with those magic circles drawn in them are totally missing.
It's true. How bothersome.
It's as though someone didn't want us to go into the rooms with the magic circles. No, they went to all the trouble of making those magic circles obvious, so maybe they wanted us to enter.
I think it's the latter. This isn't a movie, so breaking down the door is probably impossible. Smashing a window might do the trick, though. For a while, Kraus pondered over whether the situation really called for smashing a window. At that time, Hideyoshi and Nanjo returned. There was nothing strange in the guest house, and the children were safe. They told the others that Rosa and Kyrie had stayed to watch over the place. Good morning. Here's everyone's favorite character, Dr. Nanjo. I know you've all missed me, but I'm back. I heard something strange has happened. Good morning, Dr. Nanjo. I apologize for waking you so early in the morning.
What is it? Did you find a letter or something? I was sure you'd have found something like that by now.
You're right. I also believe this to be a massive joke or game of fathers. But if that's the case, then there should be some letter telling us about it. Like the letter that was given to Maria-chan. What if Maria-chan's letter actually was the announcement telling us that the game was on? The rules of the game, try solving the riddle of the epitaph, have already been made clear. Then what might the 5 magic circles we found in the mansion represent? And the missing servants?
Oh, time to start putting it together and be like, oh, the missing servants, the sacrifices.
Yep.
We're going to solve Dad's silly riddle and win the game, but it's not a game and they're all dead. Oh, I love background Beato. Can we zoom right in on that beautiful face?
Look at that. Look at that beautiful
Look at
face.
that.
It's very good.
Thank you, background Beato.
Natsuhine-san. How many servants were there today in total?
Huh? Ganji, Goda, 5 of them, but why?
So there are 5 servants. There are also 5 magic circles. It's probably a coincidence, but I don't like it.
Nissan. Let's break a window. We should check and see what's inside.
We have no choice. Do it neatly. Kraus made his decision and gave permission to smash a window. And he decided the first room they would break into would be the parlor on the first floor, where the windows would be easiest to reach. They'd hoped to peek in through the window, but the curtains were drawn, so they couldn't see inside. Rudolph wandered around the garden trying to find something that would be good for smashing the window. Eventually he found a rock bigger than a fist and came back.
You don't have to smash the whole thing. Just open it enough that you can reach the lock.
Yeet.
Don't get your hopes up, okay? You make it sound like you've done this before.
Don't worry about it.
Rudolph raised the lock and hit the glass with it several times.
Oh, hey.
What? Oh.
The breaking glass sound again.
You're right. I'm like, wait, why do I have such a weird Pavlovian response to that?
Yeah.
Eventually, he succeeded in opening a hole big enough that he could unlock it from the outside. Covering his hand with a handkerchief, he stuck his hand through the hole and cautiously unlocked it. Should probably cover it with packing tape later. The rain will get blown in. When he suddenly opened the window, the wind and rain made the curtain dance around violently. That curtain was blown to the side. They could see into the parlor they knew well. They were a little relieved. They thought there might be another bizarre magic circle inside the room, or possibly the traces of some creepy ceremony. In any event, they didn't want to hang out around out in the rain. So the six of them, Kraus, Natsuki, Ava, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, and Nanjo, entered the parlor as a group. Nothing in particular.
Interesting.
Nah.
Well,
That's Natsuki now.
what's wrong, Shannon?
Wait, are you okay? What happened to you?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Blood. Dr. Banjo, take a look at this. Also, what happened to Kazooie?
Hey,
She's checking to break this work.
Shannon-chan, are you okay? Answer me.
I will examine her condition now. She had been in the shadow of the sofa, so they hadn't noticed her until they entered the room. Shannon was lying on the floor, her chest stained bright red with blood.
Hey, Battler, where are you? Look, Shannon's corpse has turned up, see? I won't bully you anymore, so come out.
I highly doubt that. It's like you only exist just to bully me.
Yeah.
It's so mean.
Oh, there you are. What are you doing, clutching at your head in a place like that?
Byler was crouching under the table, holding his head. His pitiful figure made it plainly clear that he didn't want to see anything, didn't want to hear anything. Had he heard Beatrice's sneering voice? Could he not hear, or was he pretending that he couldn't hear? In any event, it was clear that he'd closed up his heart like a shell. Perhaps you tormented him too much, milady. After showing him all that and demanding a counter-argument, I can understand why he'd want to mope around.
Hey, Battler.
I love the characterization of Beato just being someone who's like clearly has all of the power over him and is just like, hey, Battler. Hey, you impressed now? Hey, Battler, pay attention to me. Battler. Battler.
I'm not touching you. I'm touching you, but I'm not touching you.
Like, she seems so immature in this. I love it. I like how all of the artwork, all the fan artwork I see of this series shows Beatrice and Battle are locked in a battle of wits. But the reality is, it's just Beato going like, hey, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Hey, Battler. Hey, Battler, not touching you. Hey, buddy.
If you can't argue back, then resign, okay? It's your turn. If you don't make some move or pass, or else give up, we won't get anywhere. Huh? What's that? I can't hear you.
I said, be quiet. Shut up. A witch? Magic? Why don't you just do whatever you want? I don't believe any of it. Damn it. Don't talk to me. Don't show me anything. Disappear, just disappear. Don't get that annoying face near me. Why does she so desperately want Battler's approval? That's something that's been nagging at me that I haven't been able to quite give voice to. But, like, why the fuck does she care about this one whiny jackass's approval? There is nothing remarkable about Battler except his pig-headedness. Like, he has not shown himself to be a particularly great sparring partner, right? It's like...
Crush.
Oh...
you know the thing where
Beato's just a big tsundere.
Exactly. But I was gonna say, like, you know the thing where kids annoy the kid,
The object of their affection.
yeah, because they haven't matured enough to know what to do about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what's going
That's
on
what's
here.
going
It
on.
just so happens that it's Beato who has reality warping powers.
Hey, Battler, Battler, I killed your family again. Battler, you gotta pay attention to me. It just, there's gotta be something else to it, right? It can't just be the fact that Beato is just this kind of like, really, anyway. Beatrice winced reflexively at Battler's sudden rage.
Even if you say that, if you don't finish your turn, then my turn won't come. In fact, I'm the one asking you to stop boring me.
Who cares? Be quiet. Shut up. Who cares about your fucking game? I won't go along with it. If your turn won't come until mine's finished, then just wait for all eternity. I don't know. I don't get it. I won't accept witches and magic. I won't accept something that's screwed up. I said don't talk to me. What? What? Latent Battler magic? Does Battler get magic? That would be hilarious.
Yeah, maybe he does.
Oh my god.
We do.
Battler suddenly developing magic and having to deny the existence of magic and witches would be hilarious.
We do know that he inherited his grandfather's updog.
He did. He did inherit his grandfather's updog. I don't know what's what anymore. So but what was that? Was that Battler doing that magic, or was
Maybe.
that
I don't know.
being shown something? After being shown something that screwed up, how could I resist? I wandered aimlessly through the rose garden. It was raining and windy, but that didn't mean my body got wet. Just a feeling of isolation as I wandered amidst the wind and rain without an umbrella. Maybe I lost in that person's game a long time ago. Actually, didn't we already have a clear winner and loser in the last game? After all, I surrendered for a time. That's why the world was tinted with witches and magic. Right now, Rokkenjima is a different world where witches stride around openly and fire off strange spells. It isn't a matter of accepting it or denying it. Maybe I mistakenly assumed that I was playing a game or on even footing with Beato. Maybe I was already defeated in the last game and this is just the signing ceremony of my surrender. A minute ago, a terrible battle unfolded in this rose garden. I saw it with my own eyes. I kicked the ground. Obviously, the ground was hard, and water from a puddle splashed. Several towers had split this ground, sprouting like high-rise buildings. The more I kicked this ground, the more it felt like that couldn't possibly have happened. But for that very reason, I couldn't explain it with anything other than magic anymore. If it was a closed room with a key shut up inside, I know it was probably an extension of stuff you often see in detective novels. But that big fleshy thing, ugh, it's so gauche.
Oh, interesting.
It seems my disciple has caused you much trouble. Huh? Oh, it's you! Someone suddenly spoke to me, so I turned around. In the rose garden arbor was the predecessor Beatrice, whom Beatrice had supposedly defeated a short while ago. Hello. I get to show up now. I was sure you died, so you survived.
No, I did die. Now I'm nothing more than a defeated chess piece, loitering outside of the chessboard.
Oh, I see we're in the metaverse now. Witches can just retreat there or whatever.
Yeah, just whatever. Well, no, didn't Beato say that, like, she could let her live, just, like, but also, like, she could make her remember that she's dead whenever she wanted.
So I thought that the implication was that Beato was saying, oh, now I can bring you back whenever I want to play with you.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know.
You're Beato's teacher, right? So in other words, you're a witch too.
Yes, that is correct.
So basically, that means riches really do exist? And the only one who can defeat her isn't me. That'd be you, since you can use awesome magic, right? I'm just useless now. There's nothing I can do anymore.
Yeah, but have you noticed she seems to have a weird fixation on you?
What are you talking about?
Have you surrendered completely?
What do you mean surrender? How am I supposed to explain that? Towers sprouting and falling, huge giants holding shields and throwing spears? Ugh, just remembering makes me feel like I'm going insane. We're way past the point of trying to reason all this out, aren't we? We've left the level of tricks and things that can be explained with human culprits. Oh, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it.
Calm yourself. I am nothing more than a piece on that child's game board. To being removed from that board, I am no longer a being capable of doing anything. But you are that child's opponent. As long as you do not give up on your own, you will always have the power to strike back.
Shut up! Weren't you also reciting strange spells and summoning towers and spears? What do you mean, strike back? Are you saying you'll teach me magic too and make me take part in that massive it's really hard to say those two words after one after the other.
You'd be surprised. That's one of the toughest part of witchery.
Go away, we're having a private conversation. No, not you, Beato, the other Beato. No, you're good. Ah.
If you wish, I could teach you a bit about magic.
Oh, just what I wanted. Please, give me some awesome magic to smash through her chest in one blow. Don't screw with me.
I hear that in Japanese magic. There is a ceremony used to pray for rain. Do you know of it?
A rain ceremony? The thing where you throw stuff into a fire and dance as an offering? It's not magic. They say the fire causes an updraft which makes rain clouds gather. That's supposed to be an accepted scientific phenomenon.
Oh? I believed it to be a form of Eastern magic. But that's not the case. I believe people offered sacred fire to the heavens as well as a dance of respect, so that your entreaty for rain would reach the hearts of the gods.
Maybe people did that long ago, but most occult things like that have scientific explanation. Why do things burn? Isn't that because phlogiston... Oh.
Why? Oh my gosh, it sounded like you for a moment there. Is that...
Don't worry, it happens all the time.
It's contagious.
Why do things burn? Isn't that because phlogiston is contained in the material?
No, things burn because of a chemical reaction. Lavoisier abolished the phlogiston theory.
Why does heat transfer through objects? Is that because caloric is contained in the material?
I'm pretty sure that was also abolished by Joule. Why is Badler so weirdly knowledgeable about scientific history? Heat is energy, not a substance.
You've studied well. Your knowledge is accurate.
It's just some trivia. I play Trivial Pursuit a lot. Would you like to play Trivial Pursuit? I would like to do anything.
Actually, yeah.
Awesome. Hold on. Let me find the. Oh, I know all the answers in this deck already.
Phlogiston, caloric, and eventually ether, and God's love. All are powerless before a scientific explanation. In the past, I was told that an apple falling from a tree was thanks to God's love, so that humans would be given food.
Oh, so even gravity is the love of God? Well, that's probably the remnants of the period when religion rather than science was used to explain everything. Did you know it was recently World Atheist Day? Battler being an asshole atheist. I don't want to roleplay that. I just realized it'd be funny, but I don't want to do that. That just sounds like unpleasant and unfun.
That is correct. In the past, humans called the limits of their knowledge, no, ignorance itself, magic. Like the rain ceremony we were just talking about. Did the people of ancient times realize that there was a scientific explanation? That fire gave rise to heat, to cause updrafts that summoned clouds? Even without understanding these things, they at least knew the result.
That probably happened a lot. It's stuff called knowledge of the ancestors. Even without understanding the reason, though, through long experience, they knew that they'd achieve results. Phenomena whose principles they didn't understand were probably the same thing as magic to them. If only there was a catchy little phrase like sufficiently advanced technology or something.
Like this person just said, ancient people who didn't understand those principles probably believed that, though the rain ceremony, their wishes would reach the heavens and make rain fall. To them, that certainly was magic, as long as they didn't understand updrafts.
Hey, what's updraft?
If you push an electrical switch, a light turns on. Children do not know the scientific principles behind why a light bulb goes up. They only know that the result when they push on the switch. If they obtain such a result without knowing the principles, doesn't that make it magic to them?
That's pretty interesting. Well, logically, that's true. For example, I don't have a clue why the brawn tubes in a TV show picture. Still, I think it's totally normal to see things shown on a TV. Even if I don't understand the principles behind brawn tubes, I at least know that if I push the switch, I can watch TV. It's exactly the same as having a rain ceremony without understanding updrafts.
Duly noted.
Did this come out after Steins Gate?
Duly noted. Cathode ray is magic.
What? Oh yes, they are magic actually. I mean, they shoot little electrons at everything. If that isn't magic, then I don't know what is. Let's see. Turn. This is banquet, right? Third one? So 2008. No, it must be coincidence then.
Presumably.
Sorry, it just fascinates me. Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's just coincidence. Neat. In other words, if I don't know the principles, even TV is the same as magic. Or even magic itself, I guess.
Do you know the structure of brawn tubes? Have you ever taken one apart and looked inside?
Nope. I think I read about it in a book or something once, but it was complicated and I didn't have a clue. I had lost it actually when we moved the last time. We were kind of limiting the amount of board games we would take with us, and we decided that Clue wasn't really that fun anymore. And it's a little sad actually when you come to think of it. I liked the wrench.
Did you personify the wrench?
I personified the wrench. It was my friend. I think that when electrons hit a fluorescent material, it creates luminescence or something like that.
That book lied. Actually, there are small people called gremlins shut up inside the brawn tubes. And they do their work with magic.
What? What? No, there's no way that's true.
How can you deny it if you've never looked inside a brawn tube?
Oh, I've never looked inside, but I can say for sure that the small people like that definitely do exist.
Channeling extreme Bjork opening up her television to explain what's inside energy. Don't let poets lie to you.
That's a deep cut.
Since there are no brawn tubes here, that is impossible to prove.
Yeah, it's impossible to prove right now, but later I can take apart a TV somewhere and show you and instantly win the argument.
So put another way, my magical theory that gremlins are shut up inside the brawn tubes and display the picture with magic is impossible to disprove until we can verify the contents of a brawn tube, correct?
Oh. What the hell? Is this one of those? Are you trying to say it's a devil's proof? That favorite trick of you witches.
A devil's proof is a bit of sophistry, one that takes advantage of the fact that negative facts are impossible to prove. However, it's different from my brawn tubes metaphor. That could be resolved simply by taking apart a single television.
You're right. It isn't really a devil's proof.
You proposed a scientific theory, and I have proposed a magical one. One of those is the truth. And which one it is can be ascertained the moment you look inside a brawn tube. However, until the instant that happens, we cannot deny each other's theories.
Oh, so is Battler now going to be like, show me one of those towers? Like now,
let me get in there.
Let me take a yeah. So now Battler's going to argue. I don't know how to argue against it until I take a look inside that tower of yours. Mm-hmm. Why don't you show me that tower? Come on, let me. Why don't you show it to me? Let me take it apart. See how it works.
So even though only one truth exists, until you look into the Brawn Tube, you can have two conflicting truths existing at the same time. You have a realm in which the two truths can exist simultaneously, even though there must only be one truth in existence.
Oh, did we just do the cat bit? Wow, I can't believe we stooped that low.
That bit in every visual novel when the Schrodinger's cat line hits. Yeah!
Well, everyone check it off your bingo card. We did the Schrodinger's cat bit now. That's right. We'll stoop to any level.
Is the cat in the box alive or dead? If you open the box, you will learn the answer. You will learn the truth. However, until you open the box, you can claim that the cat is alive. You can also claim that the cat is dead. Both claims are the correct truth according to the people making them. And even though the two sides are in conflict, neither can win the argument as long as the box remains unopened. In other words, two truths can exist at the same time, even though there can only be one cat in the box. It's packed with a living cat and a dead cat, forming a strange separate world. That is what Rokkenjima is now. This island is now a vast, different world where a scientific theory and magical one can exist at the same time. To a resident of the world of science such as yourself, at a glance it may feel as though this island has been sucked into a world of magic. That might not be wrong, but it's not accurate. Strictly speaking, it has been removed from the world of science to the gap between that world and the world of magic. So at a glance it appears to you as though the world is tilted towards the magical side. But in reality, this island is now in a perfectly impartial position with relation to those two opposing worlds.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I don't speak bullshit. Ugh. I don't really get it. The gap between reality and magic? A perfectly impartial world? How is that? Hasn't pretty much everything that's happened been totally not in my favor?
Then perhaps you should think of it this way. This is a trial. Think of it as a court where you and Beatrice are laying out opposing claims.
Objection!
Oh, well, we already did that one.
Call it a Brawn Tube trial. Your opponent claims that there are tiny people inside the Brawn Tubes, explaining one thing after another, talking about the lives of these tiny people, what they look like, what type of magical power they have. And what do?
Well, I study in the library and argue back by explaining how Brawn Tubes are constructed.
At this moment, both your claim and that child's claim exist in the court at the same time. If you find your opponent's claim convincing, it might sound like truth to you. It might look like truth to you. That is exactly what you saw. At this moment on Rokkenjima, witches and magic certainly may exist as truth. However, until the moment that the cat's box is opened, that world is an uncertain wave function. The entire situation can be explained by both sides at the same time. However, there is one truth. That set of truths strings with observation, and countless truths are weeded out to become one truth. It is like when, in court, the judge hands down his judgment. The two truths from the prosecutors and the defense's claims are reduced in number by the judgment and become one.
Ooh, to say it in your words, this island right now is the world right before looking into a Brawn Tube, right? Therefore, the science theory and magic theory cannot be denied. And since they cannot be denied,
both can exist as truth. Therefore, both witches and magic can exist. However, at the same time, your opinion of denial also exists as truth. It is a world where two conflicting things can exist at once. And it is a world where conflicting truths cannot disprove each other. Do you manage to understand?
in other words, no matter how much awesome magic Beato shows me, it's only a claim of magical theory and doesn't disprove my position. So no matter what kind of magic Beato shows me in this world, it cannot become proof that magic exists.
That's right. That child might even try to explain an apple falling from a tree with magic. Perhaps by shaking her staff and magically plucking the apple. Then claiming to be the thing that made her drop down to the earth. However, that would be nothing more than another claim. None of your opponent's claims can prevent you from making yours. In that sense, this world is quite impartial to both sides.
I get it. I really get it. Holy crap. Beato, I understood a thing.
Oh, good job, sport.
Oh, thanks. Can I have another cookie?
Yeah.
Oh. Wait, did you call me? Oh, that was rude.
Still, by that argument, if I show a sound argument with my science theory, and it collides head-on with her magic theory, I also can't win against her. On top of that, the final judgment won't come until we peek into the Braun tube. Where's the Braun tube in this world? Because it exists, there should be no reason for us to argue. Why don't we just get along and peek into the Braun tube? If there really is a tiny person in there, it's my complete loss. Otherwise, it's my victory. Why do we have to hold this debate without looking into the Braun tube? That itself is the game you are being challenged to. Maybe instead of court, I should use chess as an example. There, victory and loss are not determined by a judge. You who fight will decide it yourselves. Can you win an argument with an opponent in a screwed up world where multiple truths can exist at the same time? In actual fact, didn't you lose an argument and surrender like this? Shut up. No. No. That is all the advice I can give you now. If you wish, I can occasionally offer you counsel. Sure, although there's gonna get really crowded in here, because we still have Bernie, who's over there just kind of playing on the Switch on her own right now, and Ronove keeps popping in to bring everyone cookies. Someone named Lambda Delta showed up. I don't know where the hell she went to, but she was here for like 2 seconds. Listen, it's gonna be quite a house party is what I'm saying. Thank you, that really helps. I'll avenge you. Oh, thank you. I look forward to it. Did you just call me a hoe? No, Oh, no. I've just realized the type of person I've agreed to help. Oh, too late. What is your name? Beatrice used to be my name, but now that I've surrendered it, I do not have a name. I'm the witch formerly known as Beato. So I shall take a temporary name. Virgilius. No, how about Virgilia? Oh, Virgilia. Like Valkyria? Wasn't that a name for a goddesses that show up in myths? No, it means the guide who leads the way to Beatrice. I will guide you to that child who waits at the summit of Mount Purgatory. It ought to be a fitting name for such a guide. Oh, who'd guess I'd accept help from a witch when I'm trying to deny witches? I see. If this is a contradictory world where different claims can exist at the same time, I guess that's cool. It's almost funny. Do you like snickerdoodles? Yes, actually, I do. Cool. Have you ever tried? Hear me out. Snickerdoodle. $8. What is it the box accomplishes? Listen, you're not gonna believe it until you try it, okay? Just run away! Run away, where'd you go, buddy? We need one of those box of doodles right now. I am borrowing that child's words, but you truly are like a phoenix. Your will to fight has already been revived. Come, if your heart is prepared, return to your opponent. Return to the chessboard where that child is seated. I look forward to seeing how far you can fight with my disciple. Oh, yeah, watch it. I won't listen to her babbling anymore. I'll coolly fight to the end. I definitely won't get provoked by her any longer, even though I totally did. Then let us return to the seat of the battle. I'm super glad she's not running a chess clock on me, otherwise I'd be fucked.
Did you see? Beato was just standing there with a sad expression waiting for Battler to show up until that.
Just like a lost puppy, like, oh, I really hope my battler comes home.
Oh, Battler!
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Where did you run off to? And I thought losers never came back for more.
Oh, shut up, you missed me and you know it.
I did.
Kept you waiting, huh? I've cooled my head a little.
And did you think of a response to that pleasant, thrilling, refreshing, highly acclaimed, wonderful fantasy battle between teacher and me? Wasn't I pretty cool?
5 out of 10.
The towers, they were cool though, right?
I was never a fan of Lord of the Rings.
Back to the drawing board. Isn't that impossible to explain without fantasy?
Milady, didn't you just promise to be kind and act more gracefully?
Oh no, oh no. I just got in such a good mood when I saw Battler's face, you see? For reasons that are unclear. Look, how are you gonna respond to that battle just now, Battler?
I'm gonna drink all the Capri Sun in your fridge. I will leave you none. That is my challenge to you. Ew, battle? What battle?
What?
In this rose garden, where do you see those spears and towers you made lying around? They aren't here, are they? In other words, it's just like the inside of a brawn tube.
The inside of
the inside of a brawn tube.
The inside of a brawn tube? What in the world are you talking about now?
At this very moment, there's nothing at all in the rose garden. Towers may have been spreading with magic until a short while ago. However, that's only the case until we see what's inside the brawn tube. The magical battle is nothing more than your interpretation, your claim. The fact that there's absolutely nothing to see here now proves it. This is how I argued back about that witch's battle just now. Right now, there isn't anything here which proves that nothing happened.
Come now, of course I can't make a huge mess when it's only the first twilight. And I am rather fond of that rose garden, you see? To prevent any damage, I had the fight occur inside a barrier, so it's only natural it wouldn't have any influence on reality.
Oh, then that's your claim. Well, I guess that works. However, boo Listen, I have to do my own stuff, okay? They won't let me do my own background music anymore. At this point in time, there is nothing in the rose garden, so nothing stands in the way of my claim that there was no magic done here.
Wait, can you deny my magic with a mess like that?
I love Beato's like, are you fucking kidding me, face?
Wait, does this work? Well, I
don't know, you tell me, huh?
It is impossible to prove that magic does not exist. It's a devil's proof.
At this point in time, the garden is the truth. The instant you look inside, the tiny people inside the brawn tube will vanish, and there are no traces of magic here at all. So that battle between you witches did not take place.
You keep saying that word tube. What does it mean?
What do you mean, the brain type?
That counter? That power? Could it be?
Have you forgotten, milady? It is the multi-layered world reduction technique. The power of a finite witch, the counter to the power of an endless witch. Only an endless witch can perceive it and is most effective against such a witch.
Schrodinger's cat box.
Yeah, we did jump that shark, milady.
That old hag of a witch. What an uncalled for hint.
We've lost time. Including the 5 servants and grandfather, there are 6 corpses. Let me check the scene. I've been trudging along wasting time. From now on I'll speed things up, okay? Take a seat, Beatrice. It's finally the first twilight, isn't it? Let's start the real thing. Show me what you got. I'm gonna do it one more time. Do 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 do. Run away, back me up.
No.
Well, that was certainly a thing. I don't know. This chapter continues to be ridiculous. Thoroughly ridiculous, which I guess has its own appeal, but kind of underwhelming. It certainly feels like they went big, you know? Anyway, join us on Monday when we'll have a new episode of Murder Fun Times out.
Yeah.
It'll be good. Later.
Bye.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.